It has been documented in recent years that women's sports tend to receive less coverage and fewer accolades than men's sports. Yet the skill set in most cases are identical. While watching the U.S. women's soccer team in a World Cup match, Pembroke's Ayla Ludlow was confronted by her younger brother proclaiming that men are simply better athletes and people don't care about women's sports. This is just the catalyst to get young Ayla to send off a fiery letter to the President of the United States to voice her complaint. What happened next might surprise you.
Ayla was watching the World Cup soccer team game against Japan, I believe, and back in June. And she was watching the game by herself, and her younger brother, Nicholas, who's 12, came in to the room and started talking about men's sports and men being better athletes than women, and men's sports are more popular than women's sports and that sort of thing.
When my brother had come into the room and told me that girls aren't that very good at sports, and it kind of hurt my feelings because I know that they are, and I have different beliefs than him.
I think Nicholas's comments were just typical, stereotypical male type A personality, you know, feeling that men's sports are more important, and perhaps, you know, that's how society is. But I think in hindsight, it's, women's sports are certainly making a huge, I don't want to say comeback, but a huge advance in public awareness and from an entertainment value.
I just said that because from my point of view and from people at my schools, people say that boys' sports are always more aggressive and they have more activity and there's just a lot more going on.
Ayla felt the call to action to maybe do something about it. So a couple weeks later, I was handed a letter, and she asked me to mail this to the White House. And I said, okay. I said, and I don't even think I read the letter at the time. She just asked me to mail it. Just don't worry about it, and that was that.
So when I was writing the letter, I don't know. I kind of just let out all my feelings because it means a lot to me.
In September, the White House Correspondence Office called and asked if they could use the letter on their website when President Obama introduced the Yukon women's basketball team to the White House as part of their championship, title this year.
I didn't know what to say. I was kind of like, oh my God, what just happened? I was like, Dad, are you joking with me? Or I didn't really believe him. And then he's like, yeah, just look, there was an email and everything. And I was so surprised, and I don't know, I just couldn't believe it.
And then in October, near Halloween, they called again on a Friday and asked if we could come down on Tuesday, or if I could bring Ayla on Tuesday, to introduce the president to the World Cup soccer champs, the women's team. And obviously that was an incredible honor and, as it turned out, an incredible experience for both her and I. The experience in Washington, just going to the White House, going through the security, meeting the staff, ultimately having the opportunity to meet the president and the vice president, some of his cabinet, and as well as the women's World Cup soccer champs. It was just a real surreal experience, and I had an incredible sense of pride for not only our country, just for having the opportunity to be at the people's house, if you will, but also for my daughter, who sort of was the catalyst for all this to happen. And while it may be small and minor in the big picture in life, it was just an incredible experience that was monumental for both of us.
He's a really, really nice man, and I don't know, he's just very honest. And I did get to hug him, and it was really, really amazing. He's really, really nice and sweet. I also got to hug Joe Biden too and shake his hand. What my message is that I want all girls to feel comfortable with playing sports, and there is just as good at boys and sometimes even better, but yeah.